want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year. Shoot 'em my shot, boy, I'm long range. Me and the team on the same thing. Stayed down, never switched up. Only thing changed was the game. I'm in the zone now.
What's going on, everybody?
Hello.
Welcome to the Roundtable, our weekly Roundtable. Cat's on a train.
Yes, I am.
Is it to celebrate your birthday?
No, it's a work trip.
Oh, okay.
I'm traveling to an undisclosed location for a all-day meeting tomorrow.
Uh-huh. I have a couple of guesses, but I'll keep it off air.
Okay. Yes, please do that.
Yes, I will.
You know, my mom sent me a text today, and she said, "You're not 50 anymore." I thought that was a good way of looking at it. I thought, yeah, you're right. I'm not 50 anymore. Thanks,
You're
Mom.
right. Yeah, you elevated.
Right.
Kenneth asks 26.
Yeah, right. I wish.
Yeah, I don't.
51.
Nick, I'm at my work desk in my main floor of my house. I just didn't want to do the steps today, so it makes it a lot easier. It doesn't wear me out as much. So this way I can do a show where otherwise I probably would have canceled. So you get me for a week.
Nice. We'll take it.
Sorry, guys. I didn't have time to go into hair and makeup before our podcast today, but that's because I got up at 3:30 and coached and worked out and working and
All the things.
all the things.
So you've been lazy all day?
Well, I'm already at 10,000 steps, and it is 12:30, so
Cool.
doing pretty good.
Nap in your future?
You know, that may or
Hey,
may
Scott,
not.
can you go ahead.
Okay, that may or may not happen, my nap, because I have to come back for an event tonight at the school. So we'll see. But I am gonna leave here and go get a pedicure.
Awesome.
Okay.
Because I have an important event this weekend that I need to be prepped for.
And a gorgeous dress.
I did. Kat has seen my dress. It's
Yes. So pretty.
I have to go to a charity event with the hubby. He's requiring eye candy, so I need to get ready.
Speaking of
There you go.
toes, Scott,
Yeah.
can you pull up the picture of my son's fractured toes? Does everyone want to
Is
see
it somewhere public?
On our text
Um,
string.
I sent it to you.
Yeah, I don't.
I'll
I can't
resend
pull it
it.
up from my
Okay.
phone.
No worries.
Oh,
I
okay.
could if I know how to do it. We'll send it later.
But
Anyway,
just tell us what happened.
the big B, the power lifter guy, my son, who's in Williamsburg now at the College of William and Mary, dropped a metal plate on his foot at the gym, and compound fracture of the big toe, fracture of the second toe, stitches. He's in a boot for the next 4 to 6 weeks, and he was getting ready for the Arnold, not as a competitor, just as a spectator, because
Yeah,
he
just
wanted
to
to
look
look his best.
Yep.
So now he sent me a text yesterday. He said, hobbling around with mama at the Arnold.
That's
So
right.
that's what we'll be doing. Poor kid. So yeah, but it was his first big boy, like, go to urgent care, figure it out for yourself kind of a thing, where you had to get, supplies and.
I don't know how you spell toe, but that ain't it. Not that kind of
I
toe.
know. I'm trying to hurry.
Are you going to toe the toe? I'm just curious. But we need an update on you, Scott, after you get this. So we'll ask Charlie. Charlie,
What?
you worked out today.
I did. It was not pleasant.
How'd those 50 clean jerks feel for you?
Terrible.
Mm.
I feel like I've never worked out in my life.
Hey, thanks for the tip. I did stick with 85, and I felt really good.
Good.
The 85 was what I could do. It was 5 clean jerks every minute.
Oh, wow.
10.
But we've been doing it for like 4 weeks. So like it's not like I just started out this time, but it's still.
Okay.
It hasn't gotten any better in any of the 4 weeks.
You haven't gotten any better?
No. Cardio.
I'm dropping into a box tonight before dinner, so I will let you know how it goes. It'll be my first CrossFit workout in a very long time. So I'm excited.
Good. Right in time for the open.
I'm training. It's day one.
Yeah. All right, Scott, how are you feeling today?
So I feel better every day.
Yeah.
It's not anywhere near where I want to be.
You look better.
Yeah, you do.
Mostly because you shaved.
Well, and my voice is better. But yeah, it's still like I'm really winded, especially on stairs. Getting around the house. Yesterday, I drove myself to Delaware to have my EKG done. I probably should have had Julie do it after I kind of got in the middle of it and was kind of stuck. So, but there it is.
Yeah.
Just waiting on next steps. Waiting for the call from the doctor to set up an appointment to shock my heart back into rhythm. I've had a lot of people reach out to me who've had the procedure done, said it's really quick and easy, and they feel like 100 times better right after it's done. So the other complications around everything are starting to come into form. My sugar is down consistently, not completely where we need it to be, but way less than 380. My heart rate, I started wearing a watch again so I could track that. It's all over the map. And that's really the AFib. And it's funny, sometimes I'll look at my heart rate, and while I'm looking at it, it bounces 20 beats per minute.
Wow.
Like in 15 seconds, it'll have 10 different readings.
Yeah.
So it's pretty crazy. But other than that, I'm getting better. I'm eating better.
Yeah, let's hear that. How's nutrition today?
Nutrition today is good.
Okay.
Got up, had some eggs, some turkey sausage, and some Dave's Killer bread.
Okay.
Because I'm struggling getting fiber in, and the Dave's Killer bread really ramps up the fiber, and it gives you a little bit of protein. Those are two things I'm falling short of. But yeah,
I have a recommendation for fiber. Bran Buds. It's a cereal. It has like 44 grams of fiber in like a half a cup of cereal. Not a lot of calories. Delicious, and some skim milk or almond milk. It was recommended by the guy that did Mike's colonoscopy. So, and he said that's the best way to do it. He said fiber supplements, no bueno. This is like the best bang for your buck. So if you can tolerate it, don't go crazy and like eat 4 cups in one day because you'll be sorry. But
it's interesting.
Yeah, we're Cheryl's the one that's talking me into getting more fiber in. We're doing a show today at 4. But I'll try that. I'll try anything really right now. And she does not want me supplementing.
Yeah.
It's funny you brought up colonoscopy. I just got a message today. I've got to schedule mine.
It's time.
You know what though? I've heard it's the best sleep of your life. So I'm all in for that.
It's true.
Fine.
That has to be an opinion.
Put a camera up there. As long as I can sleep good, I'm good.
Whoa, easy.
As long as you don't wake up in the middle of it.
Oh, I won't.
So Christopher Alford says, how does the killer bread taste? I actually like it better than regular bread. Yeah, it has nuts and seeds in it. I think it has way more flavor. It is more dense than a regular bread. So it's hard to make like a sandwich out of it, but just for like a piece of toast, it's fine.
Christopher, are you talking about after the colonoscopy? After I have the best sleep ever, I'm going to have so much gas afterwards.
Oh my God.
Great. Scott, after you get back, your heart shocked, can you then, do you think, start exercise?
So I don't know. I've got to talk to doctors and kind of see where that's at. I've talked to some people who have gone back to full CrossFit workouts. I've talked to others that say CrossFit, the way it affects your heart, it's not good for someone with AFib. or who has ever had a fib. And they've modified it to something a little bit different. But again, I'll have discussions with people that I trust. I'm in communication with Pat and Christy about all this and everything that's going on, back and forth. So my hope is to get back to full CrossFit.
Sure. Well, yeah, I'm just thinking any kind of movement just to help with general health and your body healing and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Good thing is we're getting close to spring, and I've got a garage gym, so I can move, and
you have all the tools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what's happening in the CrossFit world?
There's so much. I don't even know if we'll get through it all, because I didn't get your take. First of all, let's start with Mal.
Okay.
Mal announcing she's not competing.
Okay.
She's not doing the open. Your thoughts?
Not surprised. I think that was to be expected. I think she is enjoying her life and that she hasn't really had any balance yet. And I think she's somebody that I think she's active. And I think she's just, honestly, I mean, I know I don't want to say being a kid because she's, I mean, an adult now, but kind of being a kid again. Like she's just taking some pressure off of herself. And so I think it's great. And if she wants to come back, or even, come back, but not be an elite athlete, just, I think it's fine. Not surprised.
Yeah. I don't care if she ever comes back. I don't think that's important.
I'd be surprised
ahead,
if she
Kat.
doesn't. I'd be surprised if she doesn't. She's so talented.
I agree. Yeah, she's definitely got the talent, and I think she had that competitive vibe, but I think that, yeah, she was training at such a high level for, starting so young, that I think looks like she's really, she's got the boyfriend, she's in Hawaii, like living her best life.
Nick, yes, I am wearing the watch while I'm sleeping to track that. Just so you know.
Thank you.
Did you see they've announced the 2 locations for 24-1 and 24-2? 24-1 is at CrossFit Pleasanton in California, and CrossFit in open announcement 2 is going to be at the Shred Shed at Justin Medeiros' estate. But in that announcement, when Medeiros talked about it, he leaked part of the workout.
How does he even know?
Supposedly the athletes do not know what the workouts are, but he makes a statement where they couldn't do one of the workouts at the Shred Shed because they didn't have enough room for lunges. So
it could be one of those workouts.
Someone is telling Medeiros that there are lunges in a workout.
Yeah.
So this whole facade that the athletes don't know what they're getting into.
I need clarification. Let's get Boz on here.
So my question to you is, as the CrossFit HQ team, do you scramble and change the workout?
It sounds like they already knew that people knew the movement. So you're saying scrambled for our benefit?
To hide the fact that they leak some of the movements to the athletes.
I mean, I think it's annoying that they leaked, but at the end of the day, they still have to perform it. And
it's the open.
Yeah, it's the open.
I mean, you can do it multiple times anyway.
And they're not going to not make it.
Right.
Because they did or did not know.
Yeah.
I know what it is. Doesn't mean I'm going to do any better.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely shuttle runs. There are definitely shuttle runs up in here.
But I mean, Mayhem knows.
We've heard.
Yeah,
we've heard other athletes say that they believe that sometimes athletes get an advantage, and not just at the open level. So I just find it fascinating. I think it's something to watch. let's see what comes out.
What
Let's see what
advantage do
comes
you
of
get
it.
by knowing?
That you practice it?
Unless it's a
Well-
movement that you've never done or they've never done before, I don't see how you get a. I mean, if they're like, we're going to do 50-foot lunges, okay. Well,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just knowing what some of the components are maybe isn't that much of an advantage. I mean, we pretty much know what all the workouts are going to entail anyway, to a certain extent.
if they're talking about
Right, but
burpee
there were-
pills, okay. Well, then, now you practice them.
I mean, do we think
There
they
were
leak the
people that
entire workout,
believed-
the details, or just, hey, you need space to lunge?
I don't think it matters in the open. I think, though, it does lend credence to people like in the 22 games, people knew about the crossovers before the games and others didn't. So some were prepared with the right rope and some were not.
Yeah, it definitely is a slippery slope, and it leads people to think, what, if that's happening, what else is happening? I agree with you there.
Right. So I'm anxious to see what the reaction to this is.
So CrossFit has not come out and said anything after that?
No, not that I've seen. But speaking of open announcements, Dave Castro in his week in review made two statements that I found very fascinating. One is he will be doing the very first announcement himself. People have been asking for him to come back and do that. And he is getting two people to do the other two that are not really directly affiliated with the CrossFit space, but are indirectly into CrossFit. So,
Like Jocko.
Who?
yeah, I'm thinking that, or like a celebrity that does it.
Hunter Sharon.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah, I don't know. He did not
Very cool.
say. He said they would be announced
In a heart.
soon. But
Ooh,
I think that's going to be interesting because everybody's been clamoring for Dave. But I think it'd be interesting, someone outside the space.
It's Tom
What do
Brady.
they bring to the table?
Jocko.
Tom
that's
Brady.
Chris Pratt will be real cool.
That would be cool. I asked Dave who was doing his reels for him, and he said some local kid, that he was paying some local kid to do it.
And you're like, where's my money?
And I wanted to be like, okay.
Did my invoice not get to you? I didn't.
I asked him. I sent him a note one time and just said, hey, instead of paying me, could you give me like a scholarship to an L1 because I'd like to take it again. And I got no response. So
Is that
Oh, well.
TB as Tom Brady?
Yes.
There's no way he believes in CrossFit.
Well,
No.
you're right.
Um,
You're right. You're right.
So the other thing he said is that he was asked about, does he miss doing all the programming for the games? And he said that last year when he came in, it was last minute and he was more in an advisor role,
Yeah.
giving his input, giving his stuff. This year, he's played the same role for the open through semis, but he got sucked in to the games programming, and he's actually taking part in the creative aspect of games programming. What do you think that means for the programming at the games?
I don't know. So So Boz and Dave essentially doing it together, or Dave's just advising?
So he said advising up through semis,
Okay.
but he's actually putting together the schedule for the games himself in like the next week.
Okay.
So I don't know if that means doing it with Boz or
Right. Or maybe Boz is advising him. Maybe Dave's drafting some workouts and then Boz is going to fine tune them.
yeah, he said he got sucked into the creative process
Yeah.
of like coming up with the workouts.
Yeah.
So I think it's been shown that Boz and Dave program differently.
Yeah.
And so I think it'd be cool if they both were part of the creative process
Yeah.
and both did a little bit of it. So you get a little flavor of each.
Mhm.
And then I think it's even more well-rounded than the past. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think it could be a nice benefit, like to really see them kind of. Oh, cat lost connection. To see them both. I think they're both creative in their own, but they both have their own kind of processes on how to do it, and maybe it is Boz advising it this time. So versus the other way around.
Yeah. One thing that I've always appreciated with Dave is the show, right?
Mm.
It's clear to see who's winning because of the way he designs a workout.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody has done it as well as him since, from being at a lot of events. And I know that it goes into my finish line rant that I always have,
Mhm.
but
Dramatic
with
fun.
all that, what I find fascinating, and I think I lost my train of thought here, is that in the behind the scenes that came out this year, and it's now coming out for free. I think they're on episode 3 now.
Okay.
That's out for free. So go check that out.
Yeah.
But at one point, Brian Friend calls Dave out on the sidelines at the games that somebody was allowed to do something and it was Justin Medieros, did not advance his sandbag or whatever to the place it needed to be. And it gave him an advantage because everybody else had to carry that sandbag like 15 feet and he did not. And those are things that if Dave knew they were going on, because he lost it. When he found out it was 15 feet, he's like, yeah, that's a distinct advantage. And that can't happen.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool interaction. And those are the things you get in behind the scenes.
Yeah.
That Sevon can only get because of his relationship with Dave.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Some of the other stuff I think anybody can get, but those little moments were really good. And I think that's what Dave will bring in the creativity is like there will be a penalty for someone who doesn't execute it the way it should be.
Yeah.
So the other thing I didn't get your opinion on that I would love is Masters and Teens going on the same weekend, and Wheel Wad and Wadapalooza, California going on the same weekend. Are we killing the age groups and adaptives before we even let them get started?
I think you are the adaptives, not the age groups. I think you'll have, if people know both are on a weekend, you can kind of watch both. Unless you're talking about going to the events, then.
Well, you won't be able to go to the events, but will they be live streaming?
None of that's known at this point.
Right. I think that's. I mean, I don't know. I think we have to wait and see. I don't think we can answer that question until we see it put in.
How many Masters athletes do you know that are coaches of a teen athlete?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a big thing that got missed, because how many mothers and kids or fathers and kids are in the Masters and Teens? Because Amy, your whole family goes in CrossFits.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And the adult's going to give in. They're going to go to the teens.
Mm-hmm.
I know there aren't that many, Andrew, but so example, Rudy Berger, 2-time CrossFit Games champion. His daughter is really, really fit.
Yeah.
And I think she just
Can do a
aged in.
muscle up.
Right. She just aged into the teen division. If she makes the teen games, I know Rudy, he's not going to go for himself. He's going to go for her.
Yeah.
And when you lose a two-time champ, then that sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks for the growth of your sport.
Yeah. And it's not in close proximity, the locations.
No.
Yeah.
Carolyn was on with us Thursday night. Why aren't they just together? Why aren't those two, the whole age group thing in one venue? You're only adding 4 age groups from the teens to the masters. And then you're saving on one venue instead of 2, one set of judges, one set of event coordinators.
Well, again, I say we got to see how it plays out.
So,
yeah.
So there's that. Have you guys been watching any of the Hiller Athena thing?
I have been watching some of that. Although one of the episodes was 2 hours long. That is just way too long to be consuming.
I told Athena I listened to her no slower than 1.5 speed.
But you were on there. They were talking about you.
It was very nice of them, what they said.
Yeah. And they said he was going to call you on there or something.
But my question to you is not about me. It's about some of the interactions between them. I find it fascinating. So they did a Hiller video together. I don't know if you've seen it yet. It's about Sporty Beth.
It's on my list to watch today.
So it is really, really good. Okay. And what I loved about it is that Hiller makes his claims and Athena questions why he's making the claim. Like right there in the moment. And then they talk it through. And it gives it like a completely different perspective. Then what I love overall about it is you have Athena, a larger bodied athlete. You have Sporty Beth, a larger bodied athlete. 2 completely different perspectives on how things should be.
Yeah.
And to see that contrast was really, really good. I think that Hiller and Athena have magic going on right now.
I agree. I'm loving how they're talking things out, meaning like she gets a text and reads it one way, right? And then she talks to him about it. He's like, that's not at all what I meant by that. And so like just seeing that kind of displayed, I think is helpful for a lot of people too, because I think it also is, maybe kind of reviewing some of her self-talk, which is important that she's expressing, like if she's thinking, oh, he called me a foodie, he thinks I'm fat, or you know what I mean? Versus, no, he's just saying, a lot about food, like and gourmet stuff.
They did a whole piece on yesterday's show about miscommunication and that they had to go to the whiteboard because she actually spent the weekend with him.
Yeah.
And they went to the whiteboard to kind of map out the communication. And Hiller was all about what he was trying to get into her head was you have a goal and that goal is weight loss. So your goal is not CrossFit.
I'm going to write to something to Kat on here, but go ahead.
Okay. So they mapped it all out. And here I lost track on that, but he said, your goal is not CrossFit. Your goal is weight loss. So like you shouldn't have CrossFit goals like a deadlift total or a pull-up or a box jump. It's not your goal. Your goal is to lose weight. And the other stuff is fluff. And you don't want to get like wrapped up in that. And Athena said, I want to work on my strength. So I want to try for the box jump. I want to try for, and their miscommunication was that Athena was saying she needed emotional and mental strength of overcoming these obstacles.
Mm.
And Hiller thought she meant strength as in muscle.
Yeah.
And it really threw them off their course, and they had to map all this out, which I found extremely fascinating from a perspective where I've been. And
Mm-hmm. No, most people don't know how to effectively communicate. That includes with their partner, with a coworker, you know, just family members. And so I think it takes practice learning how to communicate effectively to, number one, do it in a respectful way when you misunderstand or don't understand, and to keep your intentions, like assuming positive intent, you know, in a situation like this, like, you know, but I wrote on here too, because Kat was talking about conversations, and in my hallway in my building right now is a quote that says, in times of conflict, increase communication. And I think that's just important. The more, if you're not understanding, that means you need to keep talking and keep communicating until you can figure it out. Yes, Kenneth.
the other thing that I found interesting in the episode yesterday was, and it came from the Sporty Beth thing, that she could do pull-ups, and that she wanted to, she's scaling that because of her pregnancy, some different things like that. And Athena has like a really big issue with that, because there's an assumption that everybody can do pull-ups.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, for the person that's coming down from like 500 pounds, you never learn the mechanics, right? Because you were never in the right body type to get it. So your struggle to learn a pull-up is much harder than someone that was skinny, learned the pull-up, and then got heavy,
Mm-hmm.
because they learn the mechanics at one point in time. Mm-hmm. So those are ingrained into your body.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a talk about like learning things as you're going up in weight and learning things as you're coming down in weight,
Mm-hmm.
and how much the difference is. And that's not always understood by CrossFit coaches, in her opinion.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm considering that, processing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all about foundations and building, so that's why I'm trying to process looking at it from both perspectives.
Yeah. I can say, like, when I learned to pull up, like,
yes, I needed to start way earlier, because clearly
you're so close. Those last videos.
It's my hip drive, guys.
Like,
I'm not giving.
Like, you're close to a strict.
I know. That's what I've been focusing on, is doing the strict. Like, I haven't even really been attempting the other stuff. But that's just gotten better because of my strength.
So when I went from 500 to 260 and I learned to pull up, like it was a lot of bands and a lot of like trying to get rid of bands.
Yeah.
But even when I got it, it was the most important factor was still losing more weight. Mm-hmm. Like it was always the lighter you get, the easier they'll get. Right? And it wasn't necessarily about mechanics, because hanging 260 from meat hooks is still not easy on the shoulders to work a lot on mechanics.
Yeah, but I think both need to happen.
Well, I don't disagree.
Yeah.
It has its own difficulties, is all she was pointing out. Mm. So we're yeah.
But I'm going to go watch that one. It's on my list today, after my pedicure, maybe before my nap, before I come back to work.
It's an hour 30. It's an hour 30, so definitely 1.5.
I'll put it on
1.5 speed.
Yeah.
The last thing we want to talk about is, I don't know if you guys saw this. I have it pulled up, so I'm going to share my screen
Okay.
real quick. So this is
Yeah.
Myra Brandt. She made this post just a few days ago talking about how, due to health concerns, she was not going to be able to compete in the 2024 season. She is a training think tank athlete. She competed at the games 3 times in 2017, 18, and 22. She made this post, and just a day or two later passed away from the complication. And with everything that I've gone through in the last week and a half, like, life's short, and squeeze the ones around you love, and hold on to your friends, because you don't know when it's time.
Yeah.
And it made, man, I'm tearing up now.
Yeah.
Going through everything I'm going through, it just made it really, really hard.
Kat, we don't know. They said something about that she, on her original post, she said something about she was needing to have surgery and recover. And then it was complications of her surgery that caused her death. That's all the details that are released about it right now.
So, yeah, I know our paths have crossed. I've been to enough Masters events. Legends did a tribute to her. That was the training think tank thing to her, tribute to her. And for all accounts, she always had a big smile. She was also an affiliate owner.
And mom.
And so, yeah, our hearts go out to her and her family and all of her friends down there at Training Think Tank. We're with you. I know it's got to be hard. And if there's anything we can do from a distance, please let us know. But yeah, really sad story.
Yes, for sure.
So just not to finish on a sad note, we want to wish our very own Kat Shear happy birthday.
She's no longer 50.
She's no longer 50.
Mm-hmm.
So hope she has a good day on the train.
Let us know about your drop-in experience, Kat. Yep.
And we'll continue to do these even with everything I'm going through, as long as I can do them from my work desk. Hopefully we'll eventually get back down to the pod center after we get this thing shocked back. But with that, you guys got anything else?
No.
Nope.
No kids visiting, Amy? No.
I did have a kid visit over the weekend, and then she refused to take the bus back home, so we had to drive her back home. So that was a fun extra 3 hours out of my day that we weren't planning on a Sunday. But I didn't have to work yesterday because it was a holiday, so that's good.
The Go Bus?
Yeah.
Yeah. Corey would refuse.
Well, next time, this is how clearly we communicated this time. We said, next time you choose to come home, before you come home, we're going to have a plan of how you will be returning to school. So that we don't get into this.
Well, she had a plan.
Yeah. And she had a bus ticket because we told her to do a bus ticket, and then there was some guilting and her dad drove her back. So
that's easy work.
Yeah, we went through the same things, and eventually it was, if you want to come home, you are taking the bus back, or you're stuck. Your choice.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna lay down the expectation prior.
It's only a 90-minute bus ride.
Oh no! Oh, she thought it was more. She was, because it makes stops.
Like one.
Stops.
Yeah, she's fine. And I told her, I was like, it's 90 minutes for you, but it's 3 hours out of our day. It's not a bad drive. It really isn't. But, I'd rather stay if I'm driving there.
Yeah.
Nothing so bad about it, Kenneth. It's just them. I don't know. Wanting to bust our balls. All right, I gotta go get this pedicure so I can get into hair and makeup.
Just gotta get there.
I do.
Ridiculous.
My toes are gonna be showing.
Where?
At the charity event I'm going to Friday.
Well, they got closed-toe shoes.
No, not for this.
Need them dogs.
Can't be eye candy with closed-toed shoes.
See, you're right.
I know why you're not wearing closed-toed shoes. You don't want that perception out there anymore.
I'm trying to sell feet pics, so I need my feet to look good. I have to do
now,
advertising.
Now you're talking. Get them done.
There we go.
Are you, Charlie? You talking about she doesn't want to put out the vibes like she did in Madison 2 years
Correct.
ago?
We got stories to talk about that later.
All right.
Okay.
With that, guys, we will see everybody next time on the Clydesdale Media Roundtable. Bye, guys.
Bye.